Inner strength, yeah, that comes from the hard knocks that life throws at us. And we Nigerians, we know all about that. We don't stay down, we get up and fight. Sure, it's about speed, technique, quality of the punches, reach. But the real fight is with myself.
It's the power, but it's the speed as well.
But I can't carry this heavyweight title by myself. There's always got to be someone in my corner. And that's why I believe in Glow. We have that same tenacity, that Nigerian fighting spirit. That makes us game changers. You have to dig deep. You have to dig to be a world champion. To be a world champion. Yeah, we Nigerians. Yeah, we know all about that. What a fight! Glow, our halo, our halo.
Heavyweight champion of the world.
The Joshua I saw on June 1st in Madison Square Garden was an imposter. It wasn't Joshua. It was somebody else. From what he was acting like before the fight, how he carried himself in the fight, that was not Anthony Joshua. We're not fools. We know what we see. And I think he's being very sporting because nobody put a gun to his head to make him go in the ring on June 1st. But the guy in the ring was not Joshua. It was not Joshua. It was a different fighter. You know, you can sugarcoat it any way you want, but I'm telling you that Andy Ruiz is not competitive with Joshua. I told you when we talked in Belfast that Andy Ruiz had very fast hands, good feet, good movement, a lot. Kathy, I'll call you back in 10 minutes. Let me start again. I told you 2 weeks ago, before the Joshua fight, that Andy Ruiz, who we promoted from the beginning, was a good fighter, had fast hands, good feet, and was very courageous, but he didn't figure with Joshua because he had no punch. You know, we put him in with ham and egg guys. You know, look at his record, and he couldn't get rid of him. He had no punch that really had an effect. And looking at that fight, now I saw Joshua fight Parker. I saw Joshua on television with Klitschko. The Joshua I saw on June 1st in Madison Square Garden was an imposter. It wasn't Joshua. It was somebody else. From what he was acting like before the fight, how he carried himself in the fight, that was not Anthony Joshua. I don't want to take anything away from Andy Ruiz, but the way I look at it, he didn't beat Joshua. He beat somebody else. I can't lie about that, but the way I look at it, he didn't beat Joshua. He beat somebody else. I can't lie about that. I mean, you saw Joshua before. That wasn't Joshua. Same thing at the Garden. The stupidest thing they can do is to put Joshua back in with Andy Ruiz, because fight his memories and so forth. And based on what I know about the sport, you're going to get the same result. You're going to get the same result, because this wasn't like Lennox Lewis with Hasim Rahman, where Rahman hit him with one lucky punch and knocked him cold. It wasn't the same with Paul. Well, again, a lucky punch. All right, and in the rematch, Lennox came through both times. But this was different. This was a guy that got knocked down 4 times by Andy Ruiz, who hasn't the ability to knock down ham and egg guys. And so that memory of getting knocked down by Ruiz stays with a fighter. I would think that Eddie Hearn would do much better giving Joshua a couple of fights, getting him ready. There's no hurry, so he gives up the immediate opportunity to fight for a title. But I'm not his promoter, and I'm not his advisor, and he's not going to listen to me in any event. And so I think, yeah, that Andy Ruiz beats him when the fight goes on again, like it looks like at the end of the year.
What's up, boxing fans? I just want to talk about Bob Arum and the interview he had with his own IFL dude. I mean, this is nothing new, but we all know Bob being in this business for so long. Back in the time with Muhammad Ali, and so he knows the game, and actually he could read the game from in and out. You know what I mean? And I mean, we all know this anyway. Like the Joshua that turned up on the 1st of June, that wasn't the Joshua we know. And I made a lot of videos about this, and others excuses from Joshua and Eddie Hearn about nothing happened, nothing went down, was all good and all that. This is all bollocks. That's just bullshit. I mean, y'all listen to the interview, man. I mean, I think he said everything we all be saying. People who really know Joshua. Even the Joshua that had his first pro fight, that Joshua that turned up on that first pro fight could beat Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz is not a puncher. Joshua took punches from Klitschko, and we know Klitschko is a big puncher, you know what I mean? That dude, like, he had a knockout like 50 some, and we know Andy Ruiz is not a puncher, you know what I mean? And so it's like, that wasn't really Joshua who turned up that day. And it's like, if the same Joshua turned up on the rematch, he gonna lose again. I mean, let's just be straight. Whatever Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua be up for, whatever it is, but that wasn't AJ. And when I see AJ in New York, in Brooklyn, doing this thing and feel like nothing goes wrong, it got me thinking, what's going on here, man? No matter if you're cool with it or not, but sometimes you gotta think like maybe it was a sellout fight. Maybe he had to lose. Maybe there's some whatever mafia shit or gang shit involved, that money thing involved, or whatever he gotta lose. I don't know what it is, but the Joshua that turned up that day, that's not the Joshua we know. The Joshua that came up like, knocked down by a big puncher like, Vladimir, and came up and recouped and knocked that dude out. That wasn't that Joshua. And if you see the punches Louis landed on Joshua, wasn't enough to really put Joshua down. You know what I mean? So let's stop the bullshit. And I strongly believe everything could come out when Joshua win that title back. And if just 10% of Joshua could turn up, that 10% is enough to beat Andy Ruiz. I'm pretty sure about that. But y'all ain't listen to this interview. Let me know what you guys think about what Bob Arum just said. And I think we all know what it is, though. Drop your comment. I need to know.